Hi, this is Lucy, your clarity coach, and this is Tuesday Talks at 3. Welcome to the final episode of the Emotional Intelligence Mastery series. As I have kept on advising you throughout our sessions, emotional intelligence, otherwise known as EQ or EI, plays a vital role in your professional and in your personal lives. And the intent or the objective of this series was to help you have a deeper understanding of emotional intelligence, or maybe an introduction into emotional intelligence to help you be able to maneuver life. Because like I said, EQ or EI, as the acronym goes, is vital in your personal and professional life. So you could be a career-driven individual and you will be able to walk away with some tips from this series. You could be personal, a person who's looking at a personal self-development or improvement. And this also will be able to help you maneuver better in all the instances that you find yourself in. Well, just a recap. There have been 3 sessions. Today is the 4th one. The first one is the art of regulation, suggesting that you did have a sense of self-awareness. And therefore, now that you know, what do you do with it? And the question on that day was, what needs your attention? Because then it is important for you to know what exactly you need to be focusing on. It is said that if you focus on abundance and positivity, this is what is presented to you. Good afternoon, Nancy. Glad to see you here. And I see John is also here. Great to see you guys. So it is said that when you focus on the positivity and abundance, that is what comes your way, because you are focusing on that. That means your energy is flowing towards that, and that's what comes back to you. If you're focusing on looking for faults, looking for trouble, if you're focusing on negativity, well, guess what? That is going to be the very fiber of your life. So right then, what needs your attention was a question that we asked in the art of self-regulation. So maybe you do see that there is a dark side to you, and that's what we refer to as a shadow self. So if your dark side is something that you're aware of and you've articulated it, and now you're walking in the throes and the corridors of self-awareness, you can then choose to focus on that dark side or shadow side, or you can choose to change and flip that script into positive outcomes. It's really up to you, because you are the one who has the control. We find ourselves in situations, and many a time we have given up that control to other people or to situations. And this is where the question, what needs your attention, becomes very important. So just consider now, what needs your attention in your life now that you know a few things about yourself. We went on to the second episode, which is all about empathy, looking at things through somebody else's eyes. The proverbial wearing somebody else's shoes. And the question was very apt. It was, what lens do you have on? Because as you change your lenses in life, or as you go through life and you change these lenses, you see things very differently. Perhaps there's something you're going through today, and you went through something similar 2 years ago. But the lenses that you wore 2 years ago were very different. And therefore the lessons were different. And today they're different. And I can assure you, if you experience the same kind of environment in another few years, the lenses will be different. I love to use this example of my Bible study, that every time I read any book of the Old Testament or the New Testament, I have a totally different learning or takeaway. Why? Because my lenses are different. It means that the stage I am in life is different than it was a while back. And I like to look at learnings and moving forward and growing. And therefore I embrace these learnings that I get whenever I understand something new and I really want to share it. So what lens do you have on? Are you choosing to be an empathetic soul seeking to understand, so much so as not to be understood? Yes, that is Saint Francis of Assisi prayer. Is that what you're doing? Or do you want to hog the room and want everybody to understand you, to hear you, yet you're not paying it back? or paying it forward. The third episode was about navigating conflicts, and I am very conflict averse. So I would do anything in my past life to avoid conflict until I came to find certain tools that can help me confront and manage conflict towards what we're talking today, which is a harmonious environment. Because we will not always agree. We will have either a win-win situation, a win-lose or a lose-win, or we agree to disagree, or perhaps a stalemate. But there will be respect that is in all this engagement. So the question there was, what tools do you use in conflict? Because conflict will happen. And if you have not been in conflict with anybody, you have not lived. You need to be able to get into conflict with somebody so that you can have growth. Because your choice in that conflict is to grow, is to listen to somebody else's perspective, is to understand where they're coming from, is to bring in your idea based on facts. And what is a fact? A fact could be something as easy as, I do not feel happy when you do this. Or I am ecstatic when this happens. Facts. Things that you cannot argue with. So facts do not necessarily have to be statistics. So get me right there. So what kind of tools do you then use? Is it affirmation that you're going to use about yourself? But today, as we talk about harmonious environments, all this comes together. Because emotional intelligence is about us living together to the best of our ability to grow ourselves as human beings. We were not born to be islands. We are social beings. Therefore, we need one another. And doesn't mean that we will all agree, but let us have respect for one another. Let us bring on a harmonious environment as our objective in every aspect that we go in. Just because we agree to disagree, that does not diminish or belittle what I believe or what you believe. It just means that you were able to protect and defend your position, and so was I. And then we have that kind of respect for that. That when it comes to certain matters, this is how so-and-so would take it or believes, but they are willing to listen to your take. This allows us to grow as human beings. Because like I said, in the lenses that we wear, maybe at a certain season, things will shift and I'll begin to think like you, or vice versa. But will I be comfortable to come and tell you that I have changed my mind if our last discussion or engagement was one where I did not feel respected because I had a different thought? Would I be comfortable to do that? No, not at all. In fact, I'm going to remember how you made me feel. Fact. And therefore, I may not want to be there with you and find a different area to celebrate what I'm going through. That, hey guys, I have found a new learning. And this is what I'm working with now. This is what I'm convicted about. And yes, I used to believe X, Y, Z. But because of this new thing in my life, I have come to believe something else, wearing different lenses. So the question today is, in harmonious environments, is why are you influencing your environment? And I'm going to try and explore 3 whys, and I hope they resonate with you. But before I even start and get on to a very quick start, why don't you share with me why you are influencing your environments? What are you hoping to gain or to get out of influencing a specific environment? This is your story. This is your life. So share with me here and I will be able to sample some of your answers. So today it's about exploring 3 whys as to why we cultivate positive and supportive environments. Well, the first why that I have for you is appreciation. Why? Because we want to be appreciated. So as we think about it, think about your upbringing. The words thank you was something that we were all taught. And even if you were not taught at home, by the time you became of school-going age, this is what was introduced into your life. Perhaps now is when it was cemented in your mind what thank you meant. Well, whatever it is, these 2 magic words are the simplest ones to show appreciation of something of someone. At times it can be construed and made to mean other things, but the fundamental thank you, 2 words, is just an appreciation, a sign of appreciation. So cultivating a harmonious environment through appreciation is key. It's so simple. Maybe you don't feel like recognizing that somebody has done something for you and the words don't come out as thank you, but your body language is going to say thank you. Have you seen in movies when somebody is just doing this and you know that that person is appreciating what the other person did? Have you seen in movies where somebody says thank you? Already it is being communicated. Or just this. There's something that we do that just communicates that we are grateful. But we need to communicate what we are feeling. Creating a culture that just blooms with positivity starts with a simple art of saying these 2 words, thank you. And this is what brings together a harmonious environment. You get a good feeling. So the next time I am being asked to come and join you in something, I'm remembering how I felt the last time I was with you. I felt appreciated. And this is key when we have harmonious environments. And because then it just sets the tone. When I show up again, I'm showing up positive, ready to experience the same thing. And therefore, if I don't experience it, I'll be a bit shocked, taken aback, and then question myself because I went in with an expectation. So this is somebody saying thank you to you. How about you saying thank you to somebody? How about you appreciating somebody else and making them feel these vibes that you're feeling right now? Imagine that moment, that magical moment of appreciation, that look, that nod, and how it can illuminate someone's day. Something so simple. At times we overthink things and we want it to be grand gestures. Just those small things end up weaving stronger connections. Again, it's what you leave me feeling. And that's what I carry. I most probably cannot remember the exact words or the environment that we were in, but I carry with me that feeling. And it just gives me that beautiful mental health awareness. I want to come back for more. And maybe I don't even know why I want to come back for more. But it is because it has really worked on another level. It's just like planting seeds of kindness that grow into a garden of collective well-being. If you're able to do this every moment that you interact with others, then you can do this to yourself. Because within yourself, there's a lot of noise going on, there's a lot of distraction going on. If you can thank yourself for showing up, thank yourself for being with people, thank yourself for finishing something that you started. Just thank yourself for being positive and thank yourself for being able to speak to others and maybe help. Whatever it is, just thanking yourself. That vibe is what you're going to pour out to other people. In personal realms, this gesture of gratitude builds an unshakable foundation of trust. And trust is key in everything that we do. I either trust you or I don't. And when trust is broken, whoa, that's not a place you want to be in. And so it's very simple that if you're able to do this, we can actually finish our session today and keep it moving. All we need to learn how to say is thank you and let it come from the bottom of our heart. So my question to you today is, how often do you acknowledge this effort of others around you? How often do you do that? Have you just done it just now? Have you just come from it? Are you appreciating what you're going through because of somebody else who has said thank you? And therefore you realize, oh, you mean what I'm doing is something good, is helping another being? Just for a moment there, consider the last time you felt appreciated. Take a second or maybe 10 seconds to just sit in that feeling. Close your eyes with me right now and just consider the last time that you felt appreciated. Just close your eyes in 10 seconds. Remember that feeling of being appreciated. And the words could have just been, thank you. eye contact or a text, "Thank you"? How did it shape your interactions thereafter? What energy did it give you to move on from where you were? How did you then show up for the next person or the next, the next incident? Because the minute that you are receiving a thank you from another human being, you get elevated. There's a high that comes with it. And chances are you will carry this positivity or this gratitude and appreciation to the next person. Imagine how life would be. We would just have this turnaround of just good vibes, gratitude, appreciation. It would be a better world. We would have a harmonious environment. So that's the first why. Why do we influence our environments? The first one is all about that appreciation. The second one is about support. And why do I say support? It's about being that pillar of support to have a harmonious environment. There's got to be somebody, something in there that is holding on, that is making everybody's foundation steady. Why can't it be you? How can you be a support for somebody else so that we can have a harmonious environment? Building resilience with a supportive backdrop is easier because you keep on knowing that you can trust that this thing is still going to be there. And I'm hoping instead of saying this thing, we interchange it with this person, that is you. That you are the supportive pillar in situations to maintain a harmonious environment. Remember, I did say we don't always have to agree, but there's respect on the table. And if you are the person that is the peacemaker, we used to say in my country here, the Kofi Annan, the person who brings the United Nations together. That's what we used to say. So if you're a peacemaker, look at how you can be able to improve the environments that you're in. And people will start relating to you and calling you in as an arbitrator, someone who can help people speak, be heard, can help people speak up, be appreciated, can help people grow in their confidence. You see, life's tapestry is stitched or is woven with challenges and setbacks. I am very sure, if not today, perhaps yesterday, you had a challenge or a setback. Equally, you had a success. This is life. Life is not just one tangent. It is actually warped up and down, and sometimes really up, other times really low. So you can hit an all-time high as easily as you can hit an all-time low. This is life. So each thread of this tapestry that is woven of our lives is towards our resilience and growth. How great is it if there was some support? I can only think of one right now, and I'm not sure why I'm using this example, but it is so apt. Actually, I do know why I'm using this example because I had a conversation about it in the last week. Alcoholic Anonymous. Everybody there is coming because they have a challenge in their life and they want to be better. They want to grow out of it. Yet there are some in that room who are stronger pillars, and therefore you can lean on them. Like you can have them as sponsors, somebody who can talk you through this challenge that you're going through. The days that you're having dips, that you can just call them and they're your accountability partner. This is the support I'm talking about. So not only in Alcoholic Anonymous, even in groups where we are suffering loss, you can find there are those who tend to be stronger, who've gone through it, and for whatever reason they've come out stronger than the rest of us. They are pillars that we can support. And if you find yourself being one of these people, this is one of the reasons why we are influencing our environments, because we are strong pillars and they're there. We need to support these pillars. This collective, shall I say, strength ensures that each of us not only survives but thrives at this thing called life, that we're able to maneuver. So we are all at different levels of maturity, but as we become more mature, our support system that we're able to give others becomes even stronger. I'd like you for a moment to just reflect on a recent challenge. It could be as recent as just before 3 o'clock. How did the support of others transform your experience? And how can you pay this forward? Just figure it out for a second there. Just think about a challenge that you experienced and there was some form of support around you. How can you be that support for somebody else? Today we are looking at the question, why are you influencing your environment? And so far we've got two things. Out of appreciation is why I'm doing it, and out of support is why I'm influencing or how I'm influencing my environment. But we're more on the why today. And the last why is learning. I am a big one on learning. Again, we grow. A few years back, I was not all about learning. I knew I had arrived. There was nothing more that I needed to know. Until I came across a wise person who said to me, we need to be able to unlearn so that we can learn. And as we learn, we need to relearn. Because in this way, we are beings who are moving forward and striving to be better. So about learning, fostering growth and learning in a positive environment is absolutely key. The environment being positive allows you to take on learning, because learning does not come easily. It means you have to challenge the status quo. Certain beliefs that you have, you've got to question them. Maybe you've defined yourself by a certain identity, and now you're having to unlearn this identity, relearn or learn something new. It doesn't come easy. But if you're in a positive environment where you have got the appreciation and the support, as I had mentioned, the learning becomes that much easier. And then the outcome is the one that just gives you a boost to go back and again go over it and learn and relearn. A nurturing environment is the cradle, or shall I say, is the key of professional and personal evolution. That nurturing environment, that nurturing learning environment, it is so important for you in self-development or in career development or in entrepreneurial development that you have a culture of learning. And this helps you to build up a harmonious environment, because then we're helping one another. Perhaps you're a mentor, like I am, and you're mentoring those who are coming after you. Or it could be reverse mentorship. You're mentoring those who have gone before you because it's something that you have learned. If you're a coach like me, then you're helping people to know what it is that they want, where they want to go, and how to get there. You're being an accountability partner. Providing feedback is very key when it comes to learning, because suddenly you've got all this knowledge of a time gone and how you did things and how things have changed for you now with this new learning. This helps with a harmonious environment. You're able to help somebody else see their blind spot. It doesn't just uplift individuals, it elevates the collective spirit, this positive environment. It ensures that everybody grows, but not only grows, but soars together. Because as we move together, we can only be stronger. When we stand alone, there's a lot of weakness there. Because together, we each have different characteristics and different strengths and gifts that we can use in a collaborative way. So I want you to think about your personal growth journey. What learning opportunities excite you? What learning opportunities excite you? And how can you encourage a similar enthusiasm for growth in others? So what could it be for you? Think about it. Today's question has been very simple. It's why are we influencing, or why are you influencing your environment? So maybe this excitable nature of yours, a reason for learning, is what you want to be able to help others with. And why not? That question is so key for me. And these three things I came up with was from my personal experiences as to why I am influencing my environment. And that is why I show up here every Tuesday, to just give you some tips and tricks. Now, it is my hope that your answer to this question now is more around, I am influencing my environment because I'm not an island, because I am with people and I want to soar together. I am a being, a social being, and I'm being true to that. I hope that will be your answer. Well, this final session was aimed to create or to make you aware of the positivity and the supportive nature of how you can impact your environment. That you do have the control. You're not giving it up to anybody else or to environments that are not helping you to grow. You're holding this control and you're making it worth its while. The 3 ways that I have talked about, I'm just reading them off here, is appreciation, support, and learning. And I cannot overstate enough the reason why these are key, the importance of a positive atmosphere in enhancing the well-being, your well-being of interpersonal relations. And this is all emotional intelligence, where you start with yourself. You then build up to your regulation. You go into self-motivation. You then look at empathy and you finish off with your social skills. And just being able to impact your environment in a harmonious way is key for your growth. So the 3 takeaways that I have for you today is for you to be able to create this harmonious environment, remember to have a culture of appreciation or gratitude. Remember to have a supportive pillar mindset so that you can help others and help yourself. And remember that your mindset also needs to be one of growth, and that is where we are coming with the learning. Thank you so much for being with me here today. The recording of this episode will be available on our YouTube channel by this evening. That is LMC Consultancy. Hop on there and subscribe and be able to get some updates as they come alive to you. As they come here live to you, I beg your pardon. Emotional intelligence, as I said, plays a vital role in your personal and your professional life. And this intelligence series, emotional intelligence series, was all about being able to develop that self-awareness in you and give you a better understanding. And I do hope that I have achieved that objective with you, and I'd love to hear back from you. For now, Tuesday Talks at 3 will continue to take a break, as I had mentioned in our last episode, for the next 4 weeks. We'll continue on to take a break for the next 4 weeks, and then we will resume on the 7th of May. But fear not, until then, our social media platforms will be educating and inspiring you in this journey to be able to help us in self-development. Please drop me a message as to what kind of topics you want to hear about in May, and I'll be very happy to subscribe to that. You can find us on Instagram, you can find us on TikTok, you can find us on Facebook and LinkedIn as Lucy, your Clarity Coach, or Clarity Coach Lucy, whichever one you manage to find. But even as we say that, the episode 3 of season 1 of my podcast is going live on the 31st of March. And if you are interested in this, you want to follow me on social media and find the link. If you do not find the link, just direct message me and I'll share it with you. Why am I bringing this up now? I am beginning my shoots for season 2 of the podcast, which is Skillful She, and I am looking for guests to join me on this podcast, because in season 1 I have been alone on those podcasts, but now I'd like to share the podium with somebody else. So please share with me your names or topics that you'd like to hear on about, whether it is something you want us to debate on here on Tuesday Talks at 3, or specifically on Skillful She, the podcast. Thank you so much, Nancy. I see that you say, thank you so much for this eye-opener. We look forward to your return. Most grateful. Remember the appreciation, the thank you is coming through. I'm already feeling the positive vibes. And for my next session after this, I'm going in with those positive vibes. So let us help build each other. Until I see you on the 7th of May, God willing, be kind to yourselves. Bye-bye now.